Hey, what's going on? Another episode of the Reporter Vlog for May 8th, 2024 on a Wednesday with the last episode of the day. Uh, sort of world news flavor, some serious world news flavor. Uh, I definitely won't be doing too much commentating on this because you pretty much with stories like this, you pretty much got to let the article do the work, do the speaking. With stories like this, um, pro-Palestinian protesters briefly interrupt a Michigan graduation ceremony. Um, this of course this story is a little cold. Um, I guess that pretty much happened last Saturday, I believe. But let's get right to it. Of course, as far as the credits, is a story brought to you by CBS News on May 4th. Updated on May 4th, 2024. Let's see. Can't find the author, but yeah, as long as I give well, as long as I give CBS News credit in the date at least. But let's get right to it. Like I said, pro-Palestinian protesters briefly interrupted University of Michigan ceremony. The graduation ceremony at the University of Michigan on Saturday was briefly interrupted by dozens of pro-Palestinian protesters as higher education institutions across the country holding commencements braced for more demonstrations. As the commencement ceremony got underway, at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor, protesters and Kafik and in graduation caps unfurled Palestinian flags and posters as they walked through the aisles. They marched towards the stage chanting, "Regents, regents, you can't hide. You are funding genocide." The New York Times reported. One protester's banner read, "No universities left in Gaza." Others were seen waving Israeli flags. Campus police prevented the protesters from reaching the stage. Above a plane spotted flying over the ceremony, a banner said, "Davis from Israel now, free Palestine." Another plane had a different message: "We stand with Israel. Jewish lives matter." Hmm. U.S. Navy Secretary Carlos Del Toro paused a few times during the remarks, saying at one point, "Ladies and gentlemen, if you can please draw your attention back to the podium." Officials said no one was arrested and the protest didn't seriously interrupt a nearly 2 hour event, which was attended by tens of thousands of people. University spokesperson Colleen Mastany um, uh, said public safety personnel escorted demonstrators to the rear of the stadium where they remained through the conclusion of the event. Ahead of the commencement ceremony, the University of Michigan increased security measures, including screening and removal of banners and flags. Tickets would be required for the majority of the events, CBS Detroit reported. Lori McCauley, Michigan's chief academic officer, told students and staff that the school respects free expression and no one is entitled to disrupt university activities. The university has allowed protesters to set up an encampment on campus, but police assisted in breaking up a large gathering Friday night, and one person was arrested. The ongoing Israel-Hamas war sparked widespread, at times violent demonstrations at the colleges and universities across the country over the last few weeks. In an attempt to fend off possible disruptions of final exams and graduation ceremonies, a small number of universities deals, struck deals with protesters. The agreement at schools including Brown, Northwestern, and Rutgers stand out amid the chaotic scene of 2,400 plus arrests in 46 campuses nationwide since April 17th. Tent encampments and building takeovers have disrupted classes at some schools, including Columbia and UCLA. Deals included a commitment of universities to review the investment in Israel. I hear calls to stop doing business with the longtime U.S. ally. Many protesters' demands have zeroed in on links in the Israeli military as the war grinds on in Gaza. Agreements to even discuss the divestment mark a major shift on an issue that has been controversial for years with opponents of a long-running campaign to boycott Israel, saying it veers into anti-Semitism. But while the colleges have made concessions around the amnesty for protesters and funding of Middle Eastern studies, they have made no promises about changing their investments. I think of some universities, and it might be just a delaying tactic to diffuse the protests, said Ralph Young, a history professor who studies American descent at Temple University in Philadelphia. The end of the semester is happening now, and maybe by the time the next semester begins, there's a ceasefire in Gaza. Meanwhile, arrests of demonstrators continued elsewhere. Chicago police reported that dozens of pro-Palestinian demonstrators were arrested Saturday afternoon for criminal trespassing at the Downtown Art Institute. According to police, demonstrators set up an encampment at a garden on the Art Institute property uh, Saturday morning and barricaded and locked the gates. The encampment was cleared by Saturday evening. Uh, police said police broke up a demonstration at the University of Virginia. Campus police called it an unlawful assembly. In a post on the social media platform X, photos on social media show police in tactical gear removing protesters from a encampment on Charlottesville campus. Authorities have not said how many people were arrested. About a dozen protesters. Authorities have not said how many people were arrested. About a dozen protesters who refused police orders to leave an encampment at New York University were arrested early Friday, and about 30 more left voluntarily. NYU spokesperson John Beckman said the school asked city police to intervene, he added. And why the PD officers have cleared an encampment at the New York School of Greenwich Village on the request of school administrators. No arrests were announced. The 132 protesters were arrested when the police broke up an encampment at the State University of New York at New Paltz starting late Thursday, authorities said. And 9 were arrested at the University of Tennessee, including 7 students who Chancellor Dante Plowman said would be sanctioned under the school's code of conduct. The movement began April 17th at Columbia, where student protesters built an encampment to call for an end to the Israel-Hamas war. Over 34,000 Palestinians have been killed in the conflict in the Gaza Strip, according to the health ministry. There, Israel launched its offensive after August 7th, when Hamas militants killed about 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and took roughly 250 hostages in an attack on southern Israel. All right. Whew. Something else, isn't it? But basically, it's pretty much just say it's a world wide strike. Really, if this was a bunch of working people, but it said instead is college students doing this. Um, but like I said, I'm gonna gotta let the story speak for itself in this one, cause I know say too much with as far as this story, but it's something else, and I think it's still going on today. This strike, but what a way to what a graduation memory to remember. But this is all I got for this one. Uh, but I will. Uh, excuse me. And sorry about drifting off there. It's been a long night. but I will leave it up to y'all as far as this story. I will leave it up to y'all to drop a comment or something, or how y'all feel about this Israel Hamas Palestinian protest situation is pretty much going on. Uh, I had gone on in these graduations, and yeah. So drop a comment in the comment section of this episode, or wherever you may find it. Sort of dropping these episodes on Facebook. So if you see this face, drop a comment below, and uh, and as far as how you feel about this protest, and as far as it's Palestinian protests and this Israel and Hamas war all together. But this is gonna do it though. This is another episode of the reporter vlog for May 8th, 2024 on a Wednesday. Y'all have a good one. I am out.